This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Francie Low. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Oh, I'm fabulous.
It's a great pleasure to connect with you. What part of the world are you in right now?
I am in the San Francisco Bay Area,
Sweet.
California.
There we go. All right. Well, do tell us which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history.
Well, I am a recently published author. I just wrote a memoir, and it's called Alive and Fixable, and it's about the 15 months that my husband and I spent getting him back onto a bike after a terrible cycling accident. And it's also about how the community around us came to our rescue. I like to refer to these people as angels. And without them, it would have been a lot harder journey. And so far, people are telling me that it is inspiring, moving, and surprisingly funny for such a tragic story.
Well, tell me about the funny part. How does funny get in there?
Well, I have two sons, and they helped lighten the mood, and they have a funny way of looking at things, and just kind of taking our minds off of what's happening.
How old are they?
They're a lot older now because the accident was 8 years ago, so now they are 18 and 20 years old.
Okay, so we're looking at 10 and 12. Okay, all
yes.
right.
Yeah, good mathematician, yes.
Well, thank you. It's interesting years in life, right? So
yes.
Where your perceptions and everything is being mixed up at that point in time. So, I mean, give us an example of one of the times they did something that was funny, please.
Well, when my husband first came home, he needed to be in a hospital bed just because he broke so many ribs. It's hard to get in and out of a chair or a couch or whatever. And my younger son, the 10-year-old, he would lay down on the bed and go for a ride. It was just going up and down, but he thought that was the best thing.
Wow. Well, that is amazing. So I'm guessing the relationship that they had before the accident was one where they were pretty close, yeah? Yes,
I think so. Especially, I think with the younger one, they were my husband and my younger son were pretty affectionate, and the younger one likes to be as close to a body as possible. So he would lay in the hospital bed with my husband and just chill. And they would just touch legs or something as they just be.
It's as though they had their own communication language going on, right?
Yes. And then my older one, he would take care of him. I mean, he still had a role too. He would take care of him and help feed him because it was hard for him to eat because his arm was in a sling and that kind of thing.
So what's your husband's name?
Oh, my husband is Tony.
Okay.
Yes.
So Tony went through this accident. What did he do before he got into this accident professionally?
Oh, he's in high-tech sales.
Okay.
And
so
cycling. Yeah, he is. He's tenacious about everything he does. So he's an amateur racer, I would say. So he's pretty serious about cycling. Not pro, but he goes full throttle with whatever he does.
Super competitive guy, right?
Yes, he is.
There we go. And what were you doing before?
Before kids, I was a marketing professional. Okay. I was in marketing and sales. And then I became a mom, and I was lucky enough to stay home with my kids. But I was pretty involved in the schools and helping to raise money to supplement the funding from the government because we don't get as much as we need.
Okay, all right.
So I was president quite often of a number of those organizations like PTA or philanthropic organizations. So it's like mini corporations.
That's wonderful. It is. Like, I mean, I think you were working harder than your husband if we really put it into perspective, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but he did his share. He's a good partner.
Yeah, of course. But the multiplicity of things that you were doing is just fascinating. And women fascinate me when it comes to that, right? It's like they do so much without saying so little. So it's with saying little, sorry. So that fascinates me. And then there's this accident. So I'm all caught up now. I think I understand what's going on. Thank you for answering so many questions, right?
Oh, sure. Sure. No, it's my pleasure.
So who did you learn the ability to adapt from?
I would have to say from my mom mostly, because I come from a really large family. I'm one of 7 kids, and we just had to make do. We had to do everything for ourselves. She would make dinner and make birthdays special and that kind of thing, but we had to make our own lunches. I started babysitting really young, like 12 years old, because I had to buy the clothes I wanted. I had to buy them for myself. So I was pretty independent early on, and you just had to make do with what we had. And if I didn't have it, then I went out to get it.
And that worked out well, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, that worked out well. But there's the pain side of it. And sometimes you can dive into a pity party and say, I'm not going to be this person again. Why will you, however, continue to be someone that works the way you do and adapts the way you do?
Wow, you have really got some good questions. You've gotten to the heart of it. I don't know what it is inside of me that makes me try so hard or not give up. I guess I just want something to be proud of, and I want to be strong, and I don't want to be the one that has to be taken care of or have people worry about me or feel sorry for me. I don't like that. I want to be the one that's taking care of people instead, I guess.
Well, I'm sure Tony is glad that you feel that way.
He was surprised. I think this situation helped us to get to know each other in a way we didn't know before. Like, I didn't know how strong he was in enduring the pain and getting through what he had to do, and he had no idea I had the organizational skills that I had.
Yeah, he just got the opportunity to stop to see, and it happens to us, when we're moving so fast. So that's great, wonderful. So where can we go to catch up on this story and follow you?
My book is available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, iBooks, and I'm in a few or just 2 local bookstores, but easiest is probably Amazon.
Wonderful. And the name of the book is?
It's Alive and Fixable, A Road to Love and Recovery.
Ooh, so I'm going to buy that book tonight. Amazing ideas. And I love the artwork on the book. Yeah, I love that you allow Tony to shine in there with his bicycle.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, let's switch gears for a moment. Let me now invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Tell me, Francie, what's your earliest childhood memory?
So I think about when I was going to spend the night at a neighbor's house. It was an older lady. She was like a grandmother to my family. And I was walking across the street, or really shuffling, and I was wearing a pair of hot pink Mary Jane shoes that were probably 10 sizes too big. So I had to shuffle across, and my older sister, I think, was guiding me over there, and it was to keep my feet from getting dirty so that I would be clean and presentable when I got to her house. And those pink shoes and walking across the street are just, it's something it just stays with me. To this day.
Wow. So why do you think it's so clear?
Well, I do have a shoe fetish, and I do like pink. So I don't know, that was just a fun part of my life, and this woman Eva was a big part of our lives for those first few years, and I don't know. I think I guess to this day, I still like speaking with older people. I think they're funny and wise and respectful. So I think it's probably the shoes and my good friend Eva.
Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind with that memory?
Sure.
So I got to look at the book cover, just like I just clicked right there and saw it, right? And I find it fascinating that the picture in the book has Tony, or the cartoon character of what Tony may look like. And isn't the bike pink? Is it that the bike is pink and his shoes is pink? Or would you call that dark red? What color would you call that?
It's supposed to be red, but it's a soft color, color red that I got to pick the illustrator, and a lot of what I liked about his work were the soft colors in his palette, the blues, the greens, it wasn't a red, it was a soft red.
And he's looking as though he's riding from one island to the next, which is probably like, what do you call the Bay Connection? Like we drove across there, there's always traffic there, right?
Oh, the Bay Bridge.
The Bay Bridge, yeah.
Yeah, San Francisco. Well, actually, the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge or the Oakland Bay Bridge. Yeah, they're both packed.
Yeah, so it looks, it's just fascinating to me how, well, first of all, the imagery as well with you being in the shadow of the bike is interesting as well, right?
Oh, the angel.
Oh, it's an angel. Okay.
It's an angel, yeah.
All right, love that. So, all right, so let's dive even deeper. Now we can dive. Here we go. Hold your breath, right? So I love the concept of your sister being that person who was the guide in that picture and guiding you to the place where you would have the conversation that brought enlightenment as well as wisdom. And having the experience with Tony, I equate it within the imagery, again, metaphorically speaking, of the experience that Tony went through, and you in turn was that angel for him. And the growth that came from it, what you got to learn as a result of it.
Oh, wow. That's a really beautiful connection. You are a deep person.
Oh, thank you. You are as well. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Okay, I'm being very honest. But I liked Sean Cassidy, and I liked That's Rock and Roll. And I used to airband that song with my younger sister.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
Yes.
Francie, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes.
Are you married? Yes.
Yes.
Do you have children?
Yes.
2.
Yes.
Do you believe in God?
Absolutely.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
3 hours in a week, sure.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
It's less than 8.
If you had to share with us, or before I even say that, what about reading? How often do you read?
Oh, I read every day for at least an hour.
All right. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Francie Low, what would you say that is?
I would say go with your gut, because if you don't have all the answers or all the information, your gut is your best tool, your best director.
Francie Low, author of Alive and Fixable. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I don't know, just thank you for listening, and thank you, Angel, for making yourself available to the world. You're a beautiful person.
I appreciate that. I believe you are beautiful as well. Francie, again, this was a pleasure. I treasure. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.